Kampfman.
I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Dennis Kudla.
This is Sebastian Olfner.
It's Marc-Andrea Whistler.
I am Francisco Cerundolo.
And you're listening to the GTL podcast.
Hopefully you enjoy it.
Hopefully.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. It is Miami, and it is the men's draw preview, bringing this to you a little bit later than planned, but we are going to be doing a shorter version of our usual full draw preview, and we may go back into them in the full, but maybe only on Patreon. So if you want to see those, then sign up to our Patreon, and we will try and bring those back again soon. How are you doing, JG? You ready for this?
Yep, very ready. I'm in the podcast spirit. I've just been watching some old videos from Game to Love from about 4 years ago, or 4 years ago, and I must admit it was extremely fascinating to see the growth of the channel, some of the stories, the way ad delivery was back then compared to now. And I'm not saying we're by no means perfect at the moment, but still we've come on leaps and bounds. But one thing we've still got is the passion for tennis. Hopefully you guys have it as well. And Miami is one of the big tournaments. We've talked about Indian Wells, how it is like the fifth slam. This one, maybe not as big as Indian Wells, but I put it as like the second part of Indian Wells because you can group it together as the Sunshine Double. You've got some big names there. We've done the women's the other day, and we both had Iga. Is that right? No.
Yep, that's correct.
We both had Iga Rebecca in the final and both had Iga winning, so it's exactly the same. Yeah. I'm fascinated to see what you've got for this one. All I've seen is some of your quarters before this episode because I did have a little sneak peek, but I don't know who you've got winning.
Exactly right. So make sure if you are watching or listening at home, download the TNNS app, and it's on Apple or Android. Go to the Game to Love Fantasy League and you can compete against myself, JG, in this amazing tournament in Miami. And we're going to go through the past winners first, as we always do. So bring those up. We'll get the new screen up with the little neons. And you can see last year's champion was Daniil Medvedev, beating in a final Jannik Sinner, which is someone he doesn't do too well in finals against recently, does he? But straight sets win last year.
The thing that's important to note here is Jannik Sinner was very good at Miami when he wasn't very good of a tennis player. Yeah. And what I mean by that is in 2021, he was nowhere near the levels of now. He was probably, I don't know, about 50 in the world, maybe 20, 30, but he was never all that. And for him getting to that final, it was a really big achievement. He plays doubles with Hubie Hurkacz, and it was dubbed as like the doubles facing off against each other and running extremely close. He's then got to the final last year against Daniil Medvedev and the player he could never beat. But this level of Sinner is incredible. So if you put that with the fact that he's extremely good at this tournament historically, plus how he's a new player, I think he is the outright favourite for this event, without a doubt. I would say Indian Wells suits Alcaraz's game more, but Miami would certainly suit Jannik Sinner.
Yeah, with Carlos Alcaraz, the champion in 2022, beating Casper Ruud, another person who's been playing very well and does do very well in the Masters events as well, as you did say recently. Like Casper Ruud seems to be really doing well.
Back end always back end for Ruud.
Winning, is he? But he just seems to go deep in these tournaments, and he's always won. Just keep your eye on Casper Ruud. I'm interested to know what the actual odds are for this, actually, because I've not actually even looked into this, but I'm just going to have a quick look now. I don't know why I'm doing it so late in the day, but I'm actually quite interested. Right, so if I bring up the odds on the screen, I can show you. Here we go. So the favourite to win is Carlos Alcaraz, slightly ahead of Jannik Sinner. So 3.25 for Alcaraz, 3.5 for Sinner, and then Daniil at 7s, and then Zverev 15.
The best thing about this is the fact that Carlos Alcaraz and Sinner are on the opposite side of the draws, so we could have a potential matchup of them two, but in a final this time. I think that's important. And it felt like the Indian Wells one was a final before the final. This time, if they both progress and play well, then it will be the one that decides the title. I love how Alex de Minaur's relatively high. I think he's got some chances. Yes. But Casper Ruud, all the way down there at 33-1, maybe worth a sneaky sort of each way bet.
Yeah, I'd say so. Considering he got to the final in 2022, he's definitely good on service. And Hurkacz, someone who's won it before, and he's down at 40s, which I think that is a bit of a discredit to him. Tommy
I
Paul,
think it makes sense though, Ben. The reason why is because we've got them sort of three names at the front who are far superior than everyone else, and I'll eat my hat if we don't get a combination of the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, if one of those three doesn't win it, it will be a shock, isn't it? I feel that's what we're at.
No, if
right
we
now.
get a final without two of the three, I'll be shocked.
That too. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a shock. Let us know if you are shocked by those odds or if you think that they're pretty much in line. I think it's pretty fair, to be honest. I think because Alcaraz has just won that tournament in Indian Wells, I think he should be favourite coming in just over Jannik Sinner. But let's get to this new layout, and you can see it here. It's quite an interesting look, isn't it? But we're going to go in this sort of new style. So we're going to pick from each quarter, there's a dangerous unseeded player, there's a potential matchup we want to watch out for, a dark horse, and then mine and JG's quarter-final matchup. So the people who have just made it all the way to face each other in the quarter-finals. And I'm going to start off in this section by just saying I think the matchup we want to watch out for in this section is going to be Alcaraz versus Shelton, a potential fourth-round matchup. And I feel that Ben Shelton, that they're all winnable matches. I think he could beat Munar. I think he could beat either Safulin or Musetti. I think that is the most likely fourth-round match for Carlos Alcaraz.
I'm just checking if I've got it, and I do have it as well. So I agree with you. I also have the Alcaraz-Shelton matchup.
Yes, and so the next one, it will be the dangerous unseeded player in this quarter. I've gone for Emil Ruusuvuori. No, he's very good on the hard courts, but didn't want to pick anybody else in that section. I don't know where the qualifiers are placed yet, so I couldn't really pick from them. So this is just based upon the players who are placed in the draw before the qualifiers are there. So we're not taking the qualifiers into account on this one just because they're going through so late, and then the tournament literally starts tomorrow. So we don't really have much choice. We just want to get this one out there for you guys. So the dark horse is what I'm going to... I'll go to that one next, I think.
No, go to dark horse next, because this is what we've got in agreement. I know I did add mine, but you said it's the same as yours, and that is Sebastian Korda. I have Korda going relatively far. I think I've got him going to the round of 16, just before the quarterfinals. I've got him losing to Grigor Dimitrov. Okay. I think it's tight, that one. I see it go. It's a 50-50 matchup. If Korda plays his at a high level where he's playing his best, he will beat Grigor Dimitrov and potentially knock out an Alcaraz and have some mad run. He's got the ability to do that. So he's like a dark horse where everything goes right for him. He can be dangerous. I don't think it is going to go all right for him, and that's why I'm backing Dimitrov to beat Korda.
And so you can see JG's quarter-final matchup there. It is Alcaraz versus Dimitrov, and that one should be entertaining. And I've gone for something slightly different. I've gone for Alcaraz Hurkacz. Obviously, Hurkacz, a previous champion at the event. I think it's only fair to think that he's going to be playing pretty well in Miami. I think he was the first Polish male player to win a Masters, I think, at that event when he won it. So he's got good memories. Let's move on to the second quarter. Let us know if you've got the same matchups in your quarterfinals. And we'll come to the second quarter, which should be known as... Which one is this quarter? This one is the Zverev or the Rune?
Zverev Rune one.
Yeah.
So the seeds are Zverev, Dimonor, Rune, Lehechka, Khachanov, Eubank, Struff, and Cerundolo.
That's right. And we can see the potential matchup. There was a few to pick from. They're all fairly even. But I think if we get Dimonor versus Rune in round 4, I think that will be a real sort of popcorn match to watch. It's difficult to pick because we've got, like we said, we could have a round 4 of Khachanov, Zverev as well.
I'll tell you my one. I've got Dimonor, Lehechka. That would be my pick for the most exciting matchup. The reason being, I think it could be extremely close. We could see like a 3-set tie break type of thing. Both players not giving up, hitting cleanly, and I think they're excellent tennis players, both with the potential of hitting and level. I don't know who's gonna win, but I am edging a little bit more towards De Minaur.
Yeah, and you say Lehechka, I think it's a good one to bring up because I'm going to go with the dark horse of Lehechka. I think you've gone the same as well,
Yeah,
which
definitely. That was the same as for me.
Which is brilliant. Dangerous unseeded player in this section. I've gone for Malazan. I think he's proven himself, and Holger Rune is a beatable player in that second round should he get through to it. And
well, I can announce I've got Marazan knocking out Holger Rune in my draw.
Wow. Okay, brilliant stuff.
So he's very dangerous in my bracket.
Okay, so let's have a look at your quarterfinal matchup. And you've gone for Zverev versus De Minaur, and I've gone for the same. I've gone for Zverev and De Minaur. I think that they're definitely the best two in that section. And
where do you have Rune going out?
I think I have him going out to Lehechka.
Oh no, you've got him to against De Minaur, no?
What's that?
Potential matchup.
No, yeah, I said that is a potential matchup we could.
So that's not
get.
your potential. It's
No,
not something you've got.
I just feel like if that is a one we could get, which I'd like to watch.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, I don't have that one. A little bit strange to not have it in there, but yeah. Anyway, we go on to the third quarter. This is the Medvedev quarter in this one, and potential matchups. Maybe have a look through, see if there's another one that you quite fancy. But this was the one I picked, and if we get it, all of them are probably going to be round 4 ones because that's when it gets a bit tastier. Medvedev versus Humbert. I feel that one, for me, jumps off the page. French player versus Medvedev. Yes, sign me up. I want to watch it.
I agree completely. That's what I would have picked as well. The reason being, this could be a potential banana skin for Medvedev, and he could go out to Humbert.
Yeah, it really could. Like
And Jules Simon's going to cry in the box.
Maybe got some tactics.
Maybe
for
he'll
him.
be happy for Humbert. He likes Humbert. Not sure.
Well, maybe he's just like that sleeper cell who's just in there, just feeding the tactics back to Humbert. Who knows? Dark horse, or we go with unseeded player next in this section. My unseeded player is Jordan Thompson.
The lucky loser.
Yeah, I think it's a person that no one will want to play. I don't think he's got the worst.
Well, he's
draw.
lucky to be in it.
I think so, but
who
still
pulled out? I forget now.
It was Chorich, wasn't it?
Chorich, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So the seeds in this section anyway are Ruud, Humbert, Fokina, Fritz, Bias, Norrie, Jarry, and Medvedev. Just to note, but I feel that Thompson, he could get past Borges, I think, and then Fritz, that could be a bit of a banana skin for Fritz maybe, but Thompson's been dangerous this year, so that's why I think he deserves a mention.
Dark horse Fritz.
Yeah, I think so. I think that in America you've got
a pretty
to consider
good
it.
dark horse.
Yeah.
But I think if it's in this is the Sinner. Is this the Sinner section? No, it's
No,
not
that's
Sinner.
the
It's
next one.
Medvedev's. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Fritz has a good chance.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you may have to face Jarry and potentially Ruud in a 4th round, but yeah, definitely a winnable match. And you've gone for Casper Ruud to get past Taylor Fritz and to face Daniil Medvedev in the quarterfinal. And I've gone for... Have I gone for the same? Oh, I've just... Yeah, that's it. Just reveal half of it. That's good. I've gone for Medvedev versus Fritz.
Yeah, so maybe my dark horse should be Ruud. Because I think Ruud is going to beat Fritz.
There you go. We'll have it in there for you. Pop it in there for you. I think Fritz in America, I think he's got to be considered.
I think Ruud with his pedigree of Masters. I said it earlier, and I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah, I think that that section on the other side, definitely anybody's. So keep your eye out for that one. Who have you got? Let us know in the comment section. On to the 4th quarter, and I've added an extra.
Sinner one. The Sinner section.
Sinner section. I've added an extra line on this one as well, which is just called Big Round 1 Matchup. And I'm sure...
Berrettini.
Of course it is. Everybody is going to know which one it is. Berrettini Murray. And that one, it's the popcorn match of the first round. We've got one guy who's just coming back.
Which way are you going on it?
Berrettini, I think.
think I agree as well. That's what I've got.
It's a bit sad as well because I don't really want Murray to... I was watching an interview with Andy Murray earlier on today, and someone asked him in a press conference about playing the likes of Rafa or Djokovic or playing the top players, and he said, "Yeah, of course I miss it." He said, I'd much rather be playing them in the latter stages of competitions, not in the first round. He said, I miss like semi-finals and finals against them. I said, I don't want to play them in the first round. That's like, it's not the same feeling.
Yeah.
And obviously he's not going to be favourite to win at all in any of the matches these days. So I could see the pain that came through his voice and in his face, because imagine you've been to that level and now you're just not there anymore. Sad, but that's life, unfortunately. It moves on. But let's have a look at this other potential matchup we could get. Oh, that's not in the right quarter. Anyway, I'll get rid of that. Let's have a look at this other potential matchup we could get in this fourth quarter. And it's going to be another fourth round one. This was what it was. Sorry, apologies. It is Sinner versus Paul, round 4. That's the one which I really...
I've got it. I've got it in mind. Have they played recently, Sinner Paul?
Sinner and Paul. Don't know off the top of my head.
I can have a look while you go through.
Yeah, so dark horse in this little section. Well,
they played last year. Sinner Paul in August in the semi-finals of Toronto in Canada, the Canadian Open, and Sinner won 6-4, 6-4.
Not bad. Still quite close sets.
Before that, Paul beat Sinner on the grass courts in Eastbourne.
Yeah, I mean, I feel
they're
like
always quite tight matches, actually.
Paul can run Alcaraz and Sinner. This is the thing, and Medvedev as well, I reckon. But the seeds for this section, before we go any further, are Rublev, Paul, Sinner, Tsitsipas, Bublik, Griekspoor, Echeverry, and TFO. And the dark horse for this section is going to be, Tommy Paul, for sure.
Definitely.
I think
not TFO. The best American right now is Tommy Paul. I think he's more dangerous than Fritz at the moment. And when you look at them seeds, I only consider the top 3 dangerous, and that's Rublev, Paul, and Sinner.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I don't consider Tsitsipas a threat at this tournament at all. So let's go to the dangerous unseeded player. And
Arnaldi.
Oh, okay. That's who you've gone for. I've gone for Arthur Fee. I think that he's been in good form recently, and they playing each other. So that's interesting as well. Arnaldi and Fees. So I'll pop that one in there. And
I've got Arnaldi beating Fees, so I've gone with the Italian, you've gone with the Frenchman.
That's it, yeah. Exactly.
I think it's
right.
rude not to go for an Italian at the moment.
Most definitely. You've gone for Sinner Rublev as your quarterfinal matchup. And of course, I've gone with the same. I feel that they're definitely the two strongest. Paul's unlucky that he's on the Sinner side of that little quarter. And if he wasn't, I'd have Sinner versus Paul, I think. So, so let us know if you got the same quarterfinal matchups as us. Now we're going to move on.
So would you put Paul above Rublev then?
Yeah, I would right now. I feel that he's got, especially in America as well, I think that Tommy Paul, he's one of those like college players that really gets up for it when the crowd's on his side. So let's have a look who you've put through your quarterfinals. We'll go through yours first. And we've got Alcaraz. And I can see a little mark next to him there. I don't think I've concealed that too well. But you've got Alcaraz to beat Dimitrov in the first one. Alex de Minaur to beat Zverev. Okay. Impressive. Medvedev to beat Casper Ruud.
So this is where I've bottled it. Because in the reaction, I said Ruud to beat Medvedev. But then when I looked at the two names on there, and I saw Medvedev did well here in the past, I was like, I'm just going to go Medvedev. I just bottled it slightly. And he put a tweet out saying how excited he is to be in Miami. And I feel he took the defeat quite well in the final. So all of this together has just made me question whether Ruud can beat him. That's what I said in the reaction, but now I've gone for Medvedev.
Yeah, so now
I played it safe.
The pick for JG is Daniel, and then the last but not least, the battle of the gingers. Easy one.
Sinner.
Yeah, Jannik Sinner will be the winner. Right, on to my one. And
is yours the same?
I've got Alcaraz Hurkacz as my first one. No surprises. He leads the head-to-head 3-love. I don't think it'll change. I've gone for Zverev to knock out Alex de Minaur. I think they did play recently, and Zverev did just beat him. So I'm going to go with that again. Zverev's been fairly good at this event. Fritz Medvedev. Yeah, sorry, Fritz. Medvedev's the reigning champion. He's just been to a final as well. Even though he's been losing finals, doesn't mean anything. Medvedev that good, and I think the last one just sort of picks itself. Sorry, Rublev. Sinner too good right now.
So the big difference is I went de Minaur, you went Zverev.
Yeah, essentially.
What about the semis?
So the semis, you have got, here we go, Alcaraz versus de Minaur. And let's see who you've gone for. Oh, it is Carlos Alcaraz to make the final. Back-to-back finals in Sunshine Double. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. And down the bottom, well, it's those two again. Daniil and Jannik Sinner. I mean, it's his nemesis, isn't it? He hates playing him. Oh, and Daniil going out to Sinner again. How is he going to recover if he keeps losing this many in a row to Jannik Sinner?
Yeah, it sucks. And I think Sinner has a tougher draw because, of course, there's two of the big three on that side.
Yeah, I mean, it is tough.
Alcaraz lucky he avoids Medvedev.
And my semi-final, I've got Alcaraz and Zverev at the top. Yeah, I've gone for Alcaraz. You saw how he just blitzed him in the last tournament. I don't think that will change. I think he beats him easily. And then we've got Daniil Medvedev versus Jannik Sinner. I've gone Daniil Medvedev.
Yeah, I thought you had.
Yeah, so
you've been gearing up for it. I had a feeling we was going to have a Medvedev Alcaraz final again.
Yeah, exactly right. I feel that this is what's going to happen. I don't want to be a naysayer, but I feel that there was a little bit of a chink in the armour of Jannik Sinner in that Alcaraz match, and he exposed him a little bit. And I feel Daniil may get a little bit of confidence from that. He is the champion as well in Miami, so I feel like he'll have more confidence.
Sinner plays better in Miami than he does Indian Wells.
This is why I'm like, it's a very tough one. I don't think it'll be like an easy battering of him or something, but I think it'll be a close win for Daniil. So that is my final. You have gone with this is your final. So we've got the Alcaraz Sinner. I mean, that's probably the biggest popcorn final that everyone's going to want to see, and me included, if I'm honest. But I haven't gone for it. And who's the winner, JG?
The Italian Jannik Sinner will get revenge and beat Carlos Alcaraz. The reason being he's better in Miami. The courts will suit him. They'll be faster. He'll be flying. He's going to start another winning streak up again. Wow.
And my final, I've got Alcaraz versus Daniil Medvedev. Medvedev, back-to-back finals. Will he maintain his title? No, he will not, and Alcaraz will win the Sunshine Double.
That's cruel.
Sad.
I hate that you put Medvedev in another final and made him lose.
Sad.
I think you're bullying him at this point.
But there's part of me that thinks that, is that not a little bit counterintuitive, the way that I've done that he would beat Sinner and then lose to Alcaraz? Like, surely with the confidence flying high, surely
he'll beat Alcaraz as well if he gets to the final.
That's what I mean. So I might be the fool here. Let me know in the comments section if I am, and tell us who you picked. Have you gone with any of these big three players to make it to the final, or have you gone with a completely different winner altogether? I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts. And if you want to join Player Roulette, we will be doing that. That'll be on a separate video that we will just publish on the Patreon and tell everybody the players that they have in the draw.
Yeah, so please join the Patreon and we'll spin the wheel and give you a player. You can win a prize. And thanks for watching. Good luck in your Miami Open draw. Let's see how it goes. And let's see how Jannik Sinner reacts to that loss in Indian Wells. I think he's going to bounce back strong and win. And Ben thinks Alcaraz will. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Make sure if you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. And we'll see you very soon. Vamos.